Hello my friends, welcome to another episode of Stephanie's Stamp Pad where we get together and create. Today's project is adorable. It's this cute little zigzag bag with little cookie on there, and there's a little surprise on the inside. You could easily add a little gift card to the back if you wanted to, but look at how fun this is. And it's so easy, that's the best part. And it even has a little special little trick, not trick, but a different technique that we haven't done before with this. So let's get started. The first thing we want to do is we want to use, what do we need, right? Well, what do we need? We need the Stamps of Life zigzag bag. Now this is a really fun die set because it comes with a lot of yummies. It comes with the word peace and a shadow, amazing and a shadow, blessed and a shadow, and all of these fun pieces. We're going to be using quite a bit of these. We're also going to be using the stamp set called Hats for Critters. Now I know mine looks a little funny, that's because we've been using some of the archival ink, but so much fun. And of course the die sets that match, so all the dies that match. And I think that's it, and some color, some markers and some inks, and we're gonna have lots of fun. Are you ready? Let's start playing. The first thing we want to do is we want to die cut our envelope. Or not envelope, our zigzag bag. We want to do it a little bit at an angle. Oh, you can't see that. A little bit at an angle, so we don't want to go directly through. We want to go a little bit at an angle. And we're going to lay this down and we're going to run that through. Easy peasy. We're going to be doing some more die cutting. We're going to die cut this. We're also going to die cut this out of the white. There we go. So now we have the bag itself with these nice deep score lines, which are fantastic. Now we're going to die cut that, which is easy peasy, but this one, look how thin this is going to end up. We definitely want what on the back? The Sizzix adhesive. So let's grab a sheet of Sizzix adhesive and let's see. I think there's going to be a couple more little pieces that we want to add to this. So here's a trick that I like to do. We're going to lay this piece down here, just like that. And I have all of this other adhesive over here. So I'm going to add my pink because I'm going to add a pink flower. And I'm going to add my yellow. And I'm going to use this right there. And what else am I going to want to? I think that's probably it, right? Because I think I have everything else handy. So we're going to just trim that down. And I just like to tear it. Makes it easier. Whoops. Sometimes you don't get it perfectly. Now you can save this on your carrier sheet right there, and sometimes I make more of a mess than I should, but if you save that you can use it at a later time. Or if you get it messy like me, you just rub your fingers together and it goes away. And that piece I'm just going to do that. Okay, so now we have some adhesive backed cardstock. We're going to lay this down and let's move this over just ever so slightly. No speed bumps, so we want to do it a little bit at an angle. And we want to lay, let's do it over here this way. So we want to lay this down here, just like that. And we are going to lay down, our little flowers. So let's find our little flower die. Here's our little flower die. So we're gonna have to cut out a couple of those. So we want 2 yellows and we want 1 hot pink, but I only have 1 die. So we're gonna run that one through a couple times. Now that we're just gonna lay down, make sure that fits. Let's move that over just a little bit more. Because the smaller the die surface, the smaller the cutting pad. That just means less time in the machine, which gives you more time to craft. So we're gonna run all that through. And I thought of something else we're gonna die cut. Okay, and we'll bring that back so you can see it. So now we have the yellow background. We have 1 flower. We're gonna need another one. And we have this fun piece here. Now these pieces save. They have the adhesive on the back. You can use them for another project. And this is a perfect circle for, I don't know, use it for something, right? But this is the piece we really wanted. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna move this over because we want another yellow flower, and we're gonna do something really different. Look at this zigzag bag. See how it is guava in color, but on the inside, it has this cute little pattern paper. How did we do that? I don't know. Well, let me show you. What we're going to do is we are going to take this die and we're just going to lay it, let's see. Let's lay it this way. We're going to use this die, same die that we cut the bag out of, and we are going to die cut just this piece here. We're going to trim it down, so don't worry. We're really looking to get this cute little lip here. or the zigzag curve right there. So that's all we really need to focus on. So we just have a little tiny bit to die cut. So we're just gonna lay this down and run that through. Now here's a trick, because I'm lazy. I'm gonna run this back through, because remember I just cut that yellow flower, and I need one more little flower. So to save time, we are going to, let's get our piercer out. Gotta poke that guy out because he came out. Then we're gonna add it on there, and now we're gonna run the entire thing through. So there we go. So we needed that extra flower. Cracking's normal, don't worry. Okay. Now we get to start putting stuff together. Now, what I have is half a bag, which half a bag normally is not gonna do anything for you, right? But what we're gonna do is, luckily there's these nice deep score lines. Now I know it's hard for you to see at home, but those nice deep score lines is where I'm going to trim. And I'm just gonna trim down a little tiny bit, that's enough. And I'm going to trim down on this side just a little tiny bit, just like that. Now don't worry if this is not perfect, because no one's gonna see it, okay? They're just gonna see that cute little zigzag. And we're just gonna trim it just like this. It doesn't have to be perfect because no one's gonna see it. This is extra, save that for another time, but now I have my cute little zigzag. So what we're gonna do is we are going to add that right there. See that? See how that's the inside of the bag? We're gonna add it right there. Now we do need to score that over it, so we need to make sure that we have enough room. And see how it kind of is poking out just a little tiny bit? So let's trim it a little bit more. So trim it like on the inside of those score lines. Just trim it a little bit more. There we go. Now let's add adhesive to this. And this is just like, it's kind of like an envelope liner. It's the zigzag bag liner. So there we go. And now on all my bags, boxes, etc., always add adhesive to the top of the tab. So we're gonna lay this down, add it to the top, lay this down on the top, and then we're going to fold those down, just like that. Fold that one down, just like that. And then we're going to lay this down on top. Give it a nice press, so you get that, and look at that cute little liner on the inside. Isn't it adorable? I know, so easy too. Who would have thought, right? Now we get to decorate. Now I want to, let's go ahead and put this little guy together since it's right here. So let's peel this off, because remember we have that Sizzix adhesive on the back. La la! And I didn't make the trash can. I have a trash can over there and a trash can below me, and today I threw to that one and it didn't land in the right spot. We're gonna lay that down. Perfect. Spend an extra second to make sure it gets on there right. Whoop, I kind of got that a little crooked. There we go. Now we're gonna add our cute little flower, our little pink flower, with a little rhinestone in the center. You can never go wrong with bling. Bling and glitter is just like speaking my language. That's my love language. Bling and glitter. Not real diamonds. I'm not a real diamond person. I just like bling and glitter. One time I actually added, I have this little ring, and I added one of those just for fun, and look how cute that is. As long as it's blingy, I don't care. I don't need real stuff. I don't want to spend money on real stuff. I just want to have fun stuff. Okay, so let's add that little guy right there. So now our little inside piece is done. So let's move that off, and let's start working on the rest. So now what we need to do is we need to stamp Cookie. We have this little flower here, and we're going to save that. So let's stamp our Cookie, and let's get some cardstock. And that's going to fit. And we also want to stamp Happy Birthday, and we also want to stamp our little orange hat. So let's get our little orange hat first. And I like to use, the smaller the stamp, the smaller the block. So for example, I would not want to use this big block for this little tiny stamp, because you're going to start rocking and rolling, and you don't want to do that. So I'm going to grab a different, hopefully, as long as it fits on there, it's better. So there we go. And we're going to use our tangerine ink. And we're going to just stamp the little guy right there. Perfect. Now we are going to stamp, and I'm going to clean that later, don't worry, our little Cook. Now, does Cookie fit on there? Oh, Cookie does. Well, a little, see, it just a little bit hangs off. We want to have good stamping results, so we're going to use a bigger block on this one. And we are going to use Storm. Cookie got a bath and got groomed yesterday, so she is very clean smelling, which is very nice. Because let me tell you, that dog is not always smelling good. Now, I could have used cloud. It looks like on our sample we used cloud. I used storm. Either way works well. And we're also going to stamp happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy birthday. May all your dreams come true. Okay, so let's close that one. And we're going to do this one. Happy, happy birthday. And we're going to stamp this in storm. And we're just going to stamp it right, let's see, right there. I hesitated, I don't know why. Okay, that was funny. And now the main reason why I hesitated is because I was hoping they had one cut out for me, and they do. So one's cut out a little better than this one because I don't want to have to trim that straight. Okay, now what we're going to do on this is we're just going to make it a little banner. We're just going to trim there. We could use a die cut if we wanted to, but we just want to go fast, and we're just going to trim there. How easy is that? Give it a little pull, and now I have my cute little banner. Done. And now we are going to die cut our hat and our cookie. So let's get our die for the hat and our die for cook. And I do color cook sometimes. And we're going to lay that down, line that up. I always like to put my head right over it to make sure I'm getting it exactly where it needs to be. And let's get our little die cut hat. Perfect. And let's see, let's get tricky and use 2 small cutting pads. And we're gonna, whoa, that might not work. I don't think that's gonna work. We better use a big one because it kind of moved it a little and I couldn't hold both down. So I guess that's not gonna work. And now you're all looking at my pretty little diamond, aren't you? Okay, so now we're going to run this through. And we have that. Yeah, I'm definitely not a real diamond girl. It's just, I have the diamond Ken gave me when we got engaged. I was 17 when we got engaged. Don't tell my parents. No, don't worry, they already know. We've been married 27 years, so I guess something worked right? But yeah, I have that diamond, but I don't wear it very often. I'd rather wear just whatever. Okay, now, one thing we need to work on, this one. We are going to emboss. Now, I don't get to emboss as much as I should. I really should emboss more than I do. This border is really fun. It has a nice dotted border. And what we're gonna do is we are going to lay this strip of paper in there and we're gonna run this through the machine. But we have the magnetic platform on here and you cannot use the magnetic platform with embossing folders. They're too fat. So we're gonna take our magnetic platform out. You don't see me do this very often. And I'm gonna grab one of my multi-purpose platforms. I'm gonna take tab 2 and move it off to the side. And I'm gonna use the rest that's left over. Now, if you're going, oh, what is she doing? Don't worry, there's cheat sheets on here. It shows textured impressions folders. This is the one you use, don't worry. Now, every sandwich always needs 2 pieces of bread, right? So this is my plate. I need a piece of bread on the bottom. I need my meat and my good stuff right here. And then every sandwich needs what on the top, unless you're making a turkey sandwich, a hot turkey sandwich. We're not making hot turkey sandwiches, we're making a club sandwich. We need a piece of bread on the top. So we're gonna get a piece of bread right to go on the top. You don't have to use the colored cutting pads. I like to use the colored cutting pads anytime I craft because you can see where they are when they're on your desk. I'm just gonna run this through. Embossing folders are fun because they just add extra. And look at that. Whoa, isn't that gorgeous? It really stands out fantastic, nice and deep. So now what we're gonna do is, just because I don't use this very often, sadly I don't emboss as often as I should, I'm just gonna put this back in the machine, just so it's ready to go next time. Okay, now what we wanna do is we want to ink this little guy a little bit. I'm going to move those off, and I need a piece of scratch paper underneath me because I want to, this heart's left over from the last video. I want to ink this a little bit. I'm going to get some ink. And I always touch this. This one, for some reason, is dirty and it's like leaked or something. I don't know what happened. So I gotta be careful. Okay, so now I'm going to gently go over this. Very gently. I'm not putting any pressure down at all. I'm barely touching the surface because I only want to get ink on the up things, on the embossed images. So I'm just gonna lightly play with this, go slow with this, do not press down hard because you don't want to get it anywhere else. So I'm just gonna lightly rub this over. Lightly rub this over. Okay, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? It makes it even pop even more. I love it. Okay, so now we're gonna move this up to the side, and we don't need the whole thing. So we're just gonna lay it down and trim it. And you can see I was a little crooked on this, so I'm gonna find the straightest edge, the straightest spot, and we're gonna use that. So I'm going to flip it this way so it looks even more straight, and we're just going to trim it just like that. So we're gonna add adhesive to this, because then I don't have it hanging off. And we're going to lay this down. Find the straightest spot. Gosh, where is it? Probably right there. And then notice how I'm going off both edges. That's okay, because we're gonna flip it over and we're gonna use the side of the tag holder, I'm sorry, the zigzag bag as a guide. So we're just gonna trim. See, I'm just putting my scissors right next to the edge. Perfect, look at that. Turn this around and trim. So that the edge of the bag is giving me a straight edge to cut. And look at that, see? Easy. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add our cute little cookie, but see how cute this cookie is? What if we got some of our markers out and just added a little bit extra? So what we can do is we can just go in and just add a little bit extra around the edges, just ever so slightly, just for fun, just to add a little bit extra yumminess to cook. And we're just gonna add a little bit, go around the edges, kind of just spruce it up a little bit. And look at how much cook just kind of comes to life. You know what I mean? Just kind of, just going around. Doo, 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 doo. Don't worry about, oh, did I, no, just do it. Just do it. Like that commercial. Okay, add a little extra to the, look at that, look at Cook. Poor Cook hasn't gone for a walk yet today, I feel bad. I'll take her after we're done with the videos today. And let's add a little bit on the cheeks. There we go. Isn't that cute? Oh, I love my dog. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add some adhesive. And we're gonna add Cookie to our little thing here. And we are going to add our little hat. Where'd our hat go? Where? Oh, there it is. Whew. Don't wanna lose the hat. Don't wanna use the hat. Some adhesive to that. Now I don't want to press down yet. Oh, and look, we're covering the bow. So if you have a doggy that is a boy and you don't want a bow, cover the bow with a hat. There's lots of hat choices. There's a Santa hat going 2 different ways. There's a graduation hat and there's a party hat. So, perfect. Now we want to add our cute little happy birthday before we press down on that hat. So we're going to add this. And because we want it to go a little bit behind it. So we're going to add that right there. And then we're just going to add our cute little flowers. Oh, remember I put them over here. Here we go. So now these we can ink also. So since I have my banana ink out, let's get our little lemonade flowers. Where'd my other little lemonade flower go? Did I lose it already? Story of my life is losing stuff, so you never know. So we'll have to use this one. Really? Did I really lose it? What a bummer. I don't know how I managed to lose things so quickly. I literally, oh, you know what? It's on the paper. It's on the paper. No, it's not on the paper. Here's the paper. Oh, well, we'll grab a different one. See, that just happens. And so we're going to grab this and add just a little bit around the edges. So this is lemonade paper, but I'm using the darker yellow to ink it. So you can do that too. Feel free to mix and match a little, don't worry. You don't have to go lemonade, lemonade. You can go lemonade, banana. You can go banana, lemonade. You know, you can do whatever. That's the fun part. And now we are going to add this little guy here to our little guy here. We're going to add that one right there. And then this one we're going to add, oh, this one doesn't have adhesive because it's not the one I cut. So we're going to add adhesive to it. And we're going to, see, it's just never as good. And we're going to add, they always give me a backup, but it usually doesn't have adhesive on the back. And then we are going to add our little rhinestones. I could use the one from my ring, but oh, I might as well because it won't make sense if I wear it in the next video. And we're going to add this one to cover that little hole. And look at this. Oh my goodness gracious. Isn't it adorable? Okay, so I don't even know which one of these I made. I must have made this one. Okay, so look at this. We have our cute little liner in here, our happy, happy birthday. And we can write a little hidden message. Isn't that adorable? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Stephanie's Stamp Pad, where we get together and we play. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.